Well, I did it. After 9 years of trading, today I quit my job. Now, the number one reason people normally say to keep your job, even as a profitable trader, is for the lovely free money that comes in your 401k. Well, this week, my 401k broke over $100,000. When it did that, I told myself I would feel comfortable enough to move on. It's been a 9-year journey, and in today's video, I'm going to break it all down and tell you all how I got to this point. My trading journey started the summer after I graduated college in 2015. And like most of you, like you're doing right now, I studied. I spent at least 4 hours a day after work every single day watching YouTube videos. I took in as much content as I could, and I dabbled in the markets in a Robinhood account during the time. But the first real trade I remember taking, I opened one of those offshore brokerage accounts. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you the name of it right now, but I opened one of those offshore brokerage accounts where you buy an account for $700. They give you $5,000 in buying power. And I took a large position on CRBP. I think it was about $1,000 position. It was while CRBP in mid 2016 was doing like 10% a day. And of course, I was on Reddit. I was in, Wall Street Bets. I was on Stock Twits. And everyone, of course, was talking about how this stock was going to the moon. So beginner trader me, yay yippee, I bought some shares. Now, I don't remember exactly where, but it was somewhere during this run-up, because I remember the first few days going green, 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 and going, oh my gosh, yay, look at how much money I'm making. Then I remember this little pullback, and I remember this huge move here. I was up over $1,000 in the trade. But of course, once again, I was just reading Stock Twit, so you know how it is if you've been around for a little while now. When these stocks get parabolic, everyone just always loves to talk about how much higher they can go. So I fell for that. I didn't sell a single share. This is a daily chart, by the way, if I haven't mentioned that. And over the next few weeks, I saw my $1,000 in profit come all the way down to where I was now down a few $100s. It was awful. This stock, this is a biotech company, did have a PDUFA date coming up. They had a Federal Drug Administration drug decision date coming up. That's what I was waiting for. That's what everyone was so bullish on. And luckily for me in this trade, it did end up coming out. And also, luckily enough for my dumb beginner trader self, at least on pre-market on this day. And I remember it was even a little bit higher during pre-market, like right after the news came out, I decided to sell. I locked in an $1,100 profit. And of course, I became immediately hooked to trading. But of course, that trade was just pure luck. It was reading crap on Stock Twits to confirm some bias that the stock was going to go up. And I just happened to get lucky enough that the FDA decision for that drug was positive, and I was able to lock in some money. It wasn't actually a good trade in any stretch of the imagination. Remember, just because you make money doesn't mean it was a good trade. So not too much longer after that, I blew that account, down $700. Then, of course, immediately, without any slowing down, any studying, anything, just thought, I was just unlucky. I had that good first win, just got a little unlucky, hit a cold streak. I can still do this. Opened a second account. Within like 2 months, also blew that account. Now down $1,400. I can't tell you every single trade I took. I do remember a few of the good ones. I remember I was buying AMD. AMD, for those of you that have really been around, AMD was actually like the OG Wall Street bet stock. In 2016, everyone on Wall Street Bets was talking about AMD. I remember trading AMD in the $6, $7 range. Now, of course, this is when I thought I was a market genius, so I locked profits in like the $8, $9, $10 range. And of course, you all know what AMD has done since then. But I remember trading AMD. I actually remember trading Block. I was in Block, or Square as it was called at the time, before it was a $20 stock. I remember buying this at $19. Also, thought I was a market genius, sold this one too early before it did what it did. I made some good money on this Fubo pump back here a few years back. But anyway, I'm not going to be able to tell you every single trade I took. I don't remember them all like I remember my first one, which I'm sure you all can relate to. But yeah, so I blew 2 accounts right away, down $1,400. Okay, maybe I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I do need to slow down. Maybe I need to figure some of this stuff out. I opened this Thinkorswim account. I did put some money into it, and I did start to trade again right away, but I would kind of go on and off, right? And I started to develop some very early stages of risk management. You know, I would trade very small size in real money. And if I went through a large drawdown, it wasn't enough to blow my account, which was great. And then I would switch to paper trading. Then I'd paper trade for a week or two. Hey, maybe I figured something out. Maybe I've got a nice strategy, switch back to real money trading. Normally end up going on to big drawdown, switch back to paper trading. So at least now I'm maybe at this point 2 years into my trading journey, maybe not even quite a year and a half. I'm starting to think of risk management, and I'm starting to include some paper trading, some learning, hey, maybe I'm not just a genius who has this all figured out, right? Maybe I actually do need to study a little bit. That was something like 2017, somewhere around that time frame. I opened that account, and that's actually this Thinkorswim account, the one I still use today. And I went into that account with the idea of, hey, let's just not blow this one. And for the last, what's it been now, 7 years, I haven't. So I've accomplished that goal. But then for years, I'm talking for the next 3 years. So we're 2 years in at this point. For the next 3 years, I was essentially a break-even trader. I was once again smart enough to have some semblance of risk management, and I was smart enough to begin to follow strategies, right? I would at least, how do I want to word this? Maybe strategies even the right word. Rules. Let's say rules. I would create trading rules in paper trading that worked, and then I was at least now a disciplined enough trader that I would size properly and I would follow those rules. But like I said, for 3 years, I'd go on hot streaks where I'd make a bit of money, thought I had it figured out. Then, of course, I'd go on drawdowns where I lost all the profit, should I say. This would go on and on and on for 3 years. And maybe a lot of you are stuck in that state right now. That happens to a lot of traders. It's kind of the longest part of the learning growth. So for 2 years, I had no rules. I had no risk management. I was blowing accounts. I was losing money. Then I got to the point where I studied trading psychology enough that I was at least disciplined enough to follow rules, but I still wasn't making money. The definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, something had to change, right? If I was going to continue doing this, I'm wasting my time, right? If I'm going to continue doing this, something has to change. And that's when laying in bed one night thinking about trading, as I'm sure most of you probably do, if you're really, really invested in this stuff like I was and still am, I still do this. I'll go to bed tonight and do this, but I'm laying in bed and I'm thinking, and I'm thinking, I work with data. I used to work with data. The stock market is nothing but the largest data warehouse in the world. All of this is data backed, be it the fundamentals of a company itself, or just like the supply and demand chains of an individual ticker. It's all data. Now, it's extremely complex and ever-changing data, but wherever there is data, there is statistics and there is statistical advantages that you can find. When that clicked for me, I had the idea, hey, I'm going to wake up the next morning. I have a degree in computer science. I work, I code for my job, for my old job, I code. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to try to create some trading strategies and see if I can prove statistics against the market. Once again, this was after 2 years of losing money, 3 years of being a break-even trader. It clicked for me. This is all data. This is all statistics. I'm going to use code, see if we can figure this out. And I'll put an image on screen right now of my P&L graph over the last 3 years. You can see it didn't exactly work right away. It's not like I discovered systematic trading and all of a sudden I was making millions of dollars, and I'm still not making millions of dollars, but you can see maybe that first year was a little rough, whatever, kind of figuring out what works and what doesn't in system trading. And then it started clicking. Now for the last 2 years, I've been really, really efficiently making money. That P&L curve is much more steadily going up, which gives me a nice, consistent source of income. Now, I will be fully transparent with you all. As you all obviously know you're watching this video, I also make content. I have this YouTube channel with over 9,000 subscribers on it now. Thank you all very much. YouTube pays me just shy of $1,000 a month. I also have my website, daytradingstrategies.net. I made this actually a year ago in a couple of weeks. I made this. I was going, hey, you know what? I'm making decent money now systematically trading. I want to be able to provide my systems and scanners and whatever other codes I'm making to people if they would like to sign up for it. It costs $25 a month. I like to think that's relatively cheap. Right now, 136 of you beautiful people are signed up to it, which is something like, actually, it is $3,400 a month, which I will show here. So I'm also making $4,400 a month pre-tax. So more like $3,000 a month, relatively consistently from sort of trading related works I'm doing, but not just trading itself. So yeah, that's my trading journey in a nutshell. I'll break it down into a few simple steps for those of you all that may kind of be in the situations I was explaining for how I got to where I am. One, study trading psychology. Being able to stay disciplined to a strategy is so much more important than the strategy itself. It doesn't matter how good your strategy is. I could give you every single strategy I use. If you don't follow them exactly like you're supposed to, you're still not going to make money. So study trading psychology and switch to a systematic form of trading. Are there people that make money discretionary trading vis-a-vis, maybe drawing a trend line on a chart and blah, 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 making money that way? Sure, there are. But those people, honestly, are few and far between. Those people are a special breed of traders. For the most of us, for, all the hedge funds, the floor traders out there, they are all trading very, very systematically, meaning they are utilizing proven, back-tested trading statistics, and then once again, following them to a T to consistently achieve that profit over time. You do those two things, you will be in great shape. As always, as aforementioned, if you are interested in the codes that I utilize, daytradingstrategies.net, there'll be a link at the top of the description down below. For those of you guys that make it to the end of my videos, if you use discount code END at checkout, you're going to get a little bit off your first month as well. So click the link down below. Go check that out if you're not consistently profitable and you would like to attempt to follow in the footsteps of my journey that I laid out in this video today. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Trading stocks. He talks about trading stocks. It's important for you Americans and other international individuals to learn about stocks.